Good morning. We are still thinking about curating information. We've talked about not demonizing people who disagree with us, not getting angry, or listening to rather, people who are angry and amped up that causes us then to get angry. We've thought about the role of character in someone who's disseminating information to us. What I want to think about today is about our ability to self-assess. Do we know ourselves well as the recipients of information? Do we know our biases? Because here's what happens. I'm going to bend toward my biases. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It just is the fact. It's what is. And I need to know that. I need to know that by default, I'll go to one media source or another. By default, I'll listen to this teacher or that teacher. By default, I'll read this person or that person. And it's important to note that because the chances are, if I'm not careful, I can enter into an echo chamber. I can enter into hearing people who will constantly agree with me and constantly confirm my biases. The problem with that is I won't actually be able to know when I'm wrong, because I'll just enter into a world where people who might be wrong on the same thing as I am are confirming one another in our wrongness. And that kind of bias isn't helpful. The Bible in 2 Timothy 4:3 says this: "For the time is coming when people will not endure sound or healthy teaching, but having itching ears, they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own passions, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander off into myths." By the way, this is in the context of Paul exhorting Timothy toward gospel preaching. This has actually happened to some people. It's happened to a lot of people with conservative, right-wing conspiracy stuff, definitely, in this day and age. This idea of wandering off into myths, wandering away into these sort of turned around, half-truth, add a little bit of falsehood in it and spin it. And now it confirms a bias. It confirms something I've been cynical about. It confirms something I've always suspected. And he says here, you know what? They have itching ears. Makes me think of my dog. When I scratch my dog's ears, and the dog kind of leans in, loves it. I could keep that dog there all day if I would scratch all day, right? They'd never get tired of it. Never get tired of it. You have your maybe spouse, significant other, says, "Hey, a little more to the right, a little more to the right, or a little more to the left." You want them to scratch you just where you itch. And that's the metaphor he's using. They want teachers who will just, they'll just scratch you right where you itch. They'll speak just what you want, right, and confirm that bias. You need to know about yourself that you're prone to that. Beware the echo chamber. Beware the echo chamber. Because if you enter into it, you might end up just echoing off the walls things that are wrong repeatedly. Take care.